Hmm. No, cousin. I couldn't even begin to. Maybe 80. I'm gonna guess. What if I'm gonna say 80. I don't know. I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not
Okay.
even gonna guess. No.
What was the name of the album?
Uh, the morning before he brought me. Before he brought me. Sure was.
Okay.
Before he brought me, it was me and I was playing guitar and Bob Hodge was playing bass. God bless it dead. Bob Hodge passed about 4 or 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I believe who did we have playing drums? I believe it was probably one of the studio guys. I'm just guessing. Cause that's been so long. I done been all over the country since then. So
Okay.
you know I
So,
can't.
so that album was before you joined George
Oh,
McAllister.
wait, yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes.
And the lineup at that time was Reverend Tommy Thurman, Reverend
Yep.
Sidney Gordon.
Yep.
Who else was?
Brother Tony Snead and brother Joseph Jumbo Snead. Yes. Uh, Carol Snead. Yes. Let me see. I don't know if Carter Snead was there or not. No, I believe it was Tommy Thurman, Sidney Gordon, Carol Snead, Uncle Joseph, Uncle Jumbo Snead, Melvin Lee Snead Sr. I do. That was it. Those five.
Did you sing on it or did you just play guitar?
No, I just played instruments.
Okay.
Yep, just played my guitar.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Just played guitar.
And then the next album, didn't you record with George McAllister and the DC Knights?
No, the next thing I did, I was with Obedience then.
Or you recorded an album with Obedience?
No, we did a cassette. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we did a cassette tape. Yeah, yes, we did. I played guitar. Yeah, I played guitar and I played bass.
Okay.
I was playing bass on that, and that was probably 89, 90. I'm just guessing now because it's been so long. See, this is I would never even think about this right here. That's how long it's been. That is really how long it's been. That was probably 89 or 90.
Okay.
And but it's an experience that I would prescribe it for any young gospel musician, young gospel singer to try to travel, try to not limit yourself to just one thing if you can't, because some people is just limited to one thing. You know, some is just limited to one thing. Some is, you know, scared to go out on that limb. Don't be afraid to go out on that limb. That's where the fruit at. And so.
But you did record an album with George. Right?
Oh.
Is that so? Those are the only three? Obedience.
Yeah, those are the only three: the Morning Stars, Obedience, and George McAllister.
Tell me about that experience. Because y'all out on the road, y'all professional
we
musicians.
was in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
We was at a 5-star studio. They did movie soundtracks.
Okay.
And that's where we recorded our CD, and it's called The Wedding Song. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I sung and played. I played guitar through the whole album. Played sung through the whole album on all songs, and it was another experience. It was beautiful. Because see, by us being so tight knitted and by us rehearsing all the time, it only took us like maybe a half an hour to just go in there and knock all them songs out. We was done. It's up to the mixers now. That's how good and tight we was. Oh man.
And they had some studio musicians that sat in with y'all, right?
They had this one cat. He was the keyboard player. He's the keyboard player that's on that wedding song, and he did an awesome job. I can't think of his name, but he did an awesome job. He's like the only outside musician that was on there, and that was it. That was it. We laced it and we did it, and for those who don't know, it is out, and it sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good.
Well, I know you were born in '62.
Yes.
But looking back, what role do you think gospel music has played in the life of African American people? Gospel music and gospel singing.
Well, for those who I'm gonna say it again. But see, everybody don't listen to gospel music. Everybody do not go to church, and it's sad to say. But for those who is in that realm, it that's their concert. That's their rap music. That's their food for that's their spiritual food for those who can't sing, for those who can't play an instrument. Um, that's what they have to look forward to. And those guys, those are soldiers who fill their ears and their hearts with good music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what it takes a big effect.
How did it?
It's a
Did it create community? Did it help community?
sure
The actual.
it created the community. It helps the community. It gives the community a foundation. These is gospel singers. This is music. Music is universal.
Mm-hmm.
Music is learned and played and listened to all over the world, and it's a glue. It's a glue that keeps this community of churchgoers. It's the dessert. It's the dessert. That's how I feel. This is the dessert that glues the whole church community together. That's what gospel music does. It gives the community something to look forward to, some place to go, something to talk about besides violence all the time and crazy stuff. And that's what it does. It holds everything together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what gospel music does. It's a foothold to the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And there's young kids. There's young kids that's coming up in the church, and you can see them mocking the singers and the musicians. They beat on stuff, and they pretend to play the guitar. You know, the invisible guitars. That's the impact that these gospel singers have on these young kids and in this community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, and I know you kind of in depth talked about the gospel singers today. But again, comparing that glue
Mm-hmm.
that the gospel singers brought in the 50s and the 60s, is it the same glue that the gospel singers are providing today, or is it a different glue?
It's the same. It's the same. God is the same yesterday as he was the same today as he was yesterday. It's the same. It's the same. The younger generation is coming up in it. The older generation is staying in it, and the middle generation is learning it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a learning procedure. It's because of the old cats it's because of the old singers that the new singers is able to even exist.
They're the foundation.
It's because of the old singers that these new singers even have songs to sing, even that they even exist, that they even know how to play instruments. You know, it's the old cats that led the way for the new singers.
Mm-hmm.
The older generation has led the way for the newer generation, and there's more children that's doing it now. They're doing it. You know, I never was into the radio as being young. You know, as young because we had the records.
Mm-hmm.
See, we had the records. Now, this is let you know how things change. See, they don't do the albums in the 45s no more. See, they got these. They got the DVD, the CDs now, you know. They got the iPods and all of that. See, but at the same time, it's the same meal. It's just being cooked a different way. That if that makes sense. I hope I said that right. You know, it's the same meal. You know, now instead of taking your time and putting it in a pot. They take it and put it in a microwave. Dog. Instead of taking your time and getting that wooden spoon and stirring it up, they put it in a microwave now. Now, mind you, it just ain't did the same way as the way they had to really they sit down and they work in it. They do them strokes, man, and they got that bass player. See, now, this what I mean by They done updated it. See, because now they got the computers. See, you can program the computer and then you can walk away from it. You got your music right there while you singing. But see, they worked for it back then. They earned it. Now you can bake, like I said, instead of cooking it on the stove, see, they do it the easy way. They throw it in the microwave. They just throw it in the microwave.
A minute and a half later, here it is.
And there it is. There you go. There you go, man.
Name some of the churches. Name some of the churches that y'all played in growing up.
Now, I got to tell, let me see. We had definitely Little Bethel Missionary Baptist Church.
Now, where was that at?
That was out at, Centenary Road. And I can see the address, it ain't coming to me right now.
It was Sodas, New York?
I want to say 6336 Centenary Road. That's what I want to say, but I might be wrong. Centenary Road, and then we have Beulah Hill, Reverend Coleman. Little Bethel, we had Reverend Williams, Reverend Reed. Oh my God.
Oh, where was Reverend Reed at?
Out at Little Bethel.
Okay.
Yeah, this was after Reverend Williams.
Okay.
And Reverend Coleman out at Beulah Hill. It was, well, you know, a lot of churches done, you know, they done, a lot of churches that was around then ain't around now. So.
What about over in the city? Any churches over in the city y'all play that quite regularly?
I don't remember. Well, Cornhill, well, that's Cornhill, AME Zion Church, we used to sing, we used to love, we always had programs there. I don't even know if Cornhill, that church still exists anymore. That's how long it's been since I've been over in that area. And that's
because there was a lot of interchanging between the city and the country. Groups would come to the city and play, and those same groups would go out to the country and play. So the churches, I was wondering about those churches over in the city, some of the churches that were open. Because my understanding is not all churches open their door to gospel singing. You know, some churches, you know, kind of frowned on it.
I never had that experience.
Okay.
I never had that experience. I've never had no bad experience when it came down to singing in the churches. Okay. None of that turned away stuff. None of that, we don't want to hear it. None of that, guitars missing, amplifiers missing. I never had that experience. No, I'm not. I wouldn't even sit here and tell you that. I never had no bad experience with it.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe with pop a string on stage or something, but you still have to keep on playing. You just can't stop. You can't stop and change it in the middle of playing. But the way things is today, if a guitar player was to pop a string on stage, see, they got so many. You got the synthesizers, and then you got the computer, or you got it all programmed in. He could stop playing, and you wouldn't even know it. You could change the string right there, or put that guitar down and pick up his other spare guitar on the stage and keep it moving. That's the professional, see. That's the professional.
So in that sense, things have really evolved, because back then, if you popped the string,
it's done.
You say, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, but God is good. The music is universal, and once it's in you, it's not something that you can just say, well, I'm tired of this. It don't work like that. That's in you forever.
A lot of gospel singers ended up being ministers and pastors and preachers. Why would you say that happened?
First of all, to be a Christian, there is no limit to what God can do. Once you become a Christian, there's no limit what God can do. You don't know what God has in store for you. You could be a person. You could go to sleep one day and you're praising God. You wake up the next morning and God has put something on your mind, and you go and do what God said do, and next thing you know, you're feeding kids every Sunday or every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's what God wants you to do. God put you in that spot because it's a ministry, and it involves everything, but it's nothing never negative. It's,
Gospel singing is a ministry?
right. It's nothing never negative. It's always positive. I,
A lot of gospel singers ended up becoming ministers, pastors, and preachers. Why do you think that happened? Or
well, you know, you can get. God has a job for all of His people. God has a job for all of His people. Some are anointed from their mother's womb. There's a saying that Willie Neal Johnson used to say, the one God loves the most, He chases. You know, that those who are of God, there's no telling what God got in store for you. But if you stay, but as long as you stay on the line, now the devil has power too. The devil has power too. And heaven and hell, heaven is real, and hell is real. I don't wish for nobody to go to hell, but hell is real because somebody going. Now, heaven is real too. You gotta have the preachers to lead the people. You may not have a preacher over here on Brooks Avenue, but God got a preacher finna come on Brooks Avenue because that end over there, that's where God needs it. There's some teaching and preaching need to be.
Gotcha.
So now in this area, I just started my ministry. Now that's the preacher for over there. That's where God wanted to be. I don't know what God's plan is for anybody, but it's always a positive thing, never negative. And and as far as singing, that's what it's a gospel. It's a ministry.
Okay.
It's a gospel ministry. Like I was talking about the music back then, how they done elevated it. It's the same thing with singing. Now, instead of you just being a singer, now you done elevated. Now you are talking to the multitude of people. You know, you just not up there with 5 people no more. You up there with God, and you talking to the multitude of people. This is past singing. This is beyond singing now.
It is a ministry.
It's a ministry. Right. And it goes higher and higher. Who knows? The whole group probably be preachers. You never know. You never know. You never know.
Last question.
And yes,
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, and that being a preacher, that's just a part of it. That's just a part of it. You know?
Is there any questions I missed or something else that you would like to talk about regarding African Americans or gospel groups in Rochester, Wayne County in the 50s or the 60s? Anything I missed or something?
Well, I would just like to say that we haven't even scratched the surface of what we can do as a community as far as our music go, and as far as the people and as far as the people go. We haven't. There's some words that we ain't saying, and there are some songs that have not been sung yet, and there are some hearts and souls that ain't been touched. But I'm gonna say it again. I love this word. If you stay in the realm, ain't no telling what. I don't know what they gonna do after the microwave. Now they done left the pots. They done went to the microwave. Now I don't know what they gonna do after the microwave. You know, and they done left the wax, the 45. And the albums, they done got it on, then they went to the cassettes. Now the cassette tape is obsolete. Now they got the DVDs. Now they tell me they got one smaller than the DVD. So, and it's the same way with being in the realm of the Lord. You never know what the Lord, he ain't gonna leave you unprepared. He gonna prepare you for everything that changes. Because there's nothing new under the sun. Like I say, there are some words that ain't been said. There's some hearts that ain't been touched. Maybe it ain't for us to do, not for me to do. Maybe it's for my child to do, you know. But my child is here to do it, you know. And I would just like to say, God bless, and we ain't done. We just started.
Thank you.
And you're welcome, sir.